everybody? FSC Truck. There. Whew, I did things a little differently today. Just a little bit. Loads are... already got a load, kinda. You gotta figure out if we can haul it, if we can, how to haul it. There's gonna be some drama with it, of course. So we're in Canaan, New York at the Loves. It's right at the state line of Massachusetts and New York on Interstate 90. It's a new Loves, new meaning the last, I don't know, didn't used to be here when I started driving. Used to be an old AmBest across the street. It's still there. Used to be the only thing here. Now there's this little Loves. I had a video over here about New York DOT back when they used to work the toll booth, and then they took the toll booth down off the thruway. So now they hunt you down pulling into the truck stop. So anyway, I messed up. I didn't film yesterday when I got to my second stop. I just got there, got unloaded and left. I didn't even think to set up a camera. Speaking of cameras, I need to put the dash cam back on the windshield. I wiped the window down earlier with Windex. Yeah, so that's this place right here at Canaan. So we're gonna go up to Amsterdam. It's a little bit west of Albany. We're gonna get off there and go to an auction yard and pick up a wrecked end dump, or at least look at it. Problem with this particular customer is, well, he pays good. That's not a bad thing. The problem is he's hard to deal with. It's always wreckage, and you don't really know what you're getting until after you get there. And then sometimes you find out, example, we hauled a fire truck for him, I'm told, and it was wrecked, but the truck sitting on the truck won't sit straight, so it wound up being an oversized load because the truck was so twisted it stuck off the trailer. And I don't mean by just the mirrors, I mean by a lot. So I've seen it, it's happened. This is an end dump that got smashed, the front end is damaged. So my basic idea, based on the one picture I have of it, which is a really crappy picture. Got my orange juice. They didn't have my salads or even egg cups here. They had a Subway, I ate that. They had a meatball. Subway's I just ain't a big fan. I'll eat Subway over McDonald's, I'll tell you that. You know, the thing about breakfast, I argue with Jen all the time. Jen likes to eat cereal. Reese's being frosted mini wheats. At least they're supposedly wheat. I call them frosted bales. But I think about the stuff that we used to feed kids when we were little, probably still do. Cereal. What's healthy about sugar balls? My mind goes straight to South Park. Trailer handbrake, that's what that is. Applies to trailer only. Use it for sliding tandems, because your service brake is stronger than your parking brakes. Springs are only so strong. And get you out of jam if you're in a tractor slide with, you know, if you're jackknifing in a tractor slide, if the truck's being pushed sideways by the trailer, you can add some more trailer brake to try to tug it straight. That's what that's for. A lot of people ask, what's that extra handle? Problem is, it's easy to accidentally pull down and drag your brakes and not know they're on. Like I pull away with them applied. See there? But you could go down the road, have that half down a little bit, not really know it, and then you have your brakes set. So that's a bad design there. I'm always pushing it up just to be on the safe side. One of these days I'm going to apply a light on the dash that comes on when I step on the brakes. That way I know if I do accidentally have that on, I got this like red light staring me right in the face, which is probably what that red light there used to be. I don't know. There was another switch next to it. I took it out and I put a on switch, center off, for my electric wipers. Not the wipers, the squirters. The squirters are electric. Oh, I forgot to roll coal for you guys. Crap, I'm sorry. We might not have beautiful coal footage today. That is our friends. See, a good thing I didn't roll coal. Get me something about the truck stops, just like kind of always used to be. That's just dirty business right there. Fund them at the truck stops, really? That's dirty. That's just straight dirty. To this end dump now. The end dump plan is we're going to load it on backwards. We're going to put the tailgate against the top deck on the front, right, the gooseneck, load it backwards. That way we can have the landing gear either on the back deck or on the back of my well. Not sure if it's going to play out that way or not. We're going to see. At worst, if it's too tall, we can take the tires off. We can have the wrecker or some kind of company come over and pop the tires off it, or even let the air out of the tires. Just sit her on her rims, depending on what kind of height we need. If we can get her under 14 feet, we can just permit it. It might be long. If it's too long, again, we can permit it. And the other thing is, if I measure it out right, I know the front end is messed up, but is it structural? I don't know. Is there a lip that goes beyond the dump part of it? Well, in other words, is the fifth wheel go under the dump or in front of the dump? Well, can't really see in the picture. So it's possible that we can spin it around, pop the tires off, put the rear axles right on my back deck maybe. I don't think it'll fit in the well. And then put it on the top, put the nose on the top deck up front. Not sure. Won't know till we see it. It's only about an hour drive to get there, so we're just gonna get there, get actual eyeballs on it, and then see what we can find and how to load it, how to figure it, permit it, whatever, and then ham it down. The other bad thing is, it's not going to Wisconsin, it's going to Minnesota. So I'm going past home to get it unloaded. But more often than not, we can get a load from Minnesota back to Wisconsin. And if I got a deadhead 4.5 hours to get home, it just ain't a really big deal. I made money coming out, I made money going back. 5 hours of deadhead, considering I had no deadhead on the last load, between the last load and the load I had. And this load here, I unloaded here, basically in Canaan, and I only drive an hour. So that ain't bad. At least to me, it's not. But we'll find out soon enough what this thing looks like. The other thing I did for this trip is I got a camera on the right side of the truck facing all completely to the right and slightly forward. Reason for that is when you're on this section of 90, before you get to the north-south part of the thruway, because technically that's not 90 no more, 90 goes through Albany, we're staying on the thruway. See here they got the automatic toll. You get your plate, send it to you in the mail. We did that after COVID, got rid of all the toll workers, so New York for you. No jobs for you. Automation, replaced by automation. Anyway, there's these two bridges. There's a railroad bridge to the south, and then the interstate. And I think the interstate's two separate bridges, but I wanted to get a nice shot over the Hudson going, you know, facing north. So that camera's basically only there for that. It's a plan for today anyways. Trucking wise, ain't much going on. I'm hoping when I get unloaded and get back home, I'll get to looking at go to Michigan with the dually and the trailer. Let's start looking at Volkswagen-based sand rails for Matthew. Talked about that in the last video. We're getting ready to plan on a big trip to Glamis. So trying to get Matt something to drive. That way he's not giving me the puppy dog guys. Come on, Dad, let me drive the racer. Get him his own car. He's paying for it. I just gotta help find it for him. Of course, I'll haul it out there for him. He'll fly out there and meet us, or he'll ride out and fly back. I'm not really sure. But the plan is we gotta find suitable off-road tires for Sean's Jeep. I mentioned that in the previous video. And we're gonna start branching off a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit in the automotive world. Start looking into the other side of us, the stuff I do with my sons, with the family. We've been doing a lot of off-roading recently, so debate on how much to put on the channel. I'm not gonna, it's gonna be a primarily trucking channel, but we are gonna look into just bringing in some more direction to it, just to broaden it up a little bit. Show a little bit more what we do, why it works so damn hard. I don't work hard, it's hard is to stack money. I work hard to do stuff with it. Since I got robbed in my children's childhoods when they were small during divorce and having a truck so hard just to make ends meet, we really enjoy doing stuff together now. Short, what people don't understand, when my sons were small, I had a very neglectful wife, and after we divorced, she got increasingly neglectful, and the children were very neglected. You can't get custody if you're an over-the-road truck driver by trade, and child support court will not let you earn less money voluntarily to be a better dad. The child support court, it's all about the money. So if I got a local job, I'd be paid far less and have to make the same amount of payments. I wouldn't have survived it. So I had no choice. I had to just do what I could from a distance. That's why during the Great Recession of 08 and 09, I lived in that RV I jumped. I refer to those as my homeless years. But I had my sons all summer long. Had to still write my ex-wife that check every time. Every month. Whether
Cabover there, driver.
Thank you, driver.
I'd gladly trade this truck for one of those.
No deal. I hear you, though, driver. I'm busting your chops. Thank you. Have a great day.
Hey, you too.
Anyways, my ex-wife loved getting paid to support the kids, even though she wasn't supporting the kids for 2.5 months a year. But I still had to write that check. Yeah, I know, there's still rent to pay. Oh no, she actually lived in a house that she bought that was foreclosed on. A dump. And that's absolute dump. But it met minimum standards for the state of Pennsylvania, so I can stay with good. But anyway, I couldn't make less money, so I kept, you know, I was forced into the payments I had. That's not a problem. It was just that you can't voluntarily earn less money because in Pennsylvania, child support and custody are two complete separate orders. Custody order is a civil order. They don't enforce it. Child support order is that one's a civil order too, but they will enforce that. It's amazing the difference. What it is, I don't know, but don't make your payments, the cops will show up at your door. Ex-wife don't bring in your kids, they won't answer the phone. said, "What's your beef with the Pennsylvania State Police?" in comments one time. You really want me to go there with you? Yeah. Anyways, wow, that's a rabbit hole. All right, let's go pick up our end dump. Where's this bridge at? Screaming kitty. Ah, the sun. First time I've seen that since Saturday. Yeah, what's left of that tropical storm come up. That was that rain we had over here the last 2 days. It wasn't bad rain, it was just on and off, on and off. Such a big deal about these big ass baby storms that come up here anymore. I would think the second coming was on its way in a form of a cloud. We did have another option of a load. Would have to deadhead down to Carlisle, pick up down there as an oversized excavator, take that up to Michigan. So right here is when 90 goes that way into Albany, but this stays the toll road. From here north, there's used to be a rest areas either side, and they closed the rest area, but I believe they still DOT you in there though. You can't piss there, but they could inspection there. I think that's how that works in that place. But unless I got something to do in Albany itself, I don't go that way. So anyway, this is no longer 90. It's kind of like the extension of the thruway. Take 87 north, see, 287, 290. So we'll run north and then it'll meet back up with 90 and then head west. That confuses some guys. I don't do that much trucking in New York, like upstate New York. Usually going through it, not into it for anything. It's just not much going on up here. Upstate New York is very open and woodsy. New York's political scene basically drove all in any industry out of New York. I mean, it's not every single bit of it, but most of it's gone. I mean, Kodak, if they're even in Rochester anymore, there's like nothing there, if anything. What does that tell you if Kodak ain't in Rochester? But yeah, there really ain't that much up here. Beautiful country to visit though. That's the weird thing about it though. There's nothing here, which makes it pretty, but all the same while there's no jobs. So if you live here, what do you do? I know a guy up in upstate New York, Syracuse area. He makes signs. His shop's always getting robbed. People breaking in, messing with his cars, his trucks. And he stays. He's a good guy, don't get me wrong, but I don't know why he sticks around there. I doubt he watches my channel, but he knows who I am, obviously, so. Remnants from a past, but he's a good guy. That truck's ready to lose his spare tire. Look at that in front of me. Watch, we'll be 5 miles down the road. Be like, oh, look, some random tire in the road. on bridges here in a minute. Back alive in 1969, but in modern day we can't make the roadway meet the bridge. Back in the channel's day, we used to talk boat goals. Still got them, just haven't gotten the boat running yet. And me and Jen decided on doing a different project. Let's say a project, we'll get another car running first before we start putting a lot into them boats. But I like that little, I don't know if that's a canal, sure as hell looks like it over there. And then on this side, got the Hudson. That boat way out there, see him out there? Heading south. There's a marina just to the south of the bridge here. Just beyond that marina, we used to pick up over there when I used to be leased on with the camp. Rail camp trucking. Not for me. No, not here. That's a Newburgh Beacon Bridge. My bad, I forgot. North 87 to Interstate 90. That's basically what we're picking up, something like that. I'll go back to the footage when he passed me. But yeah, that's an end dump. Duh. But that was a weird thing. A guy was like, I was talking to him on the phone. He was like, well, you know what an end dump is? I go, yeah. Which state's it configured for? You know, it's like a small construction trailer, it's like a big, huge, heavy haul scrap trailer, you know, like they run in Wisconsin. You know, what you see them all the time outside of our yard. You know, big black steel, I forget who made them, you know, painted black, big steel trailer, heavy. Blue Leasing runs them. There's a couple YouTube videos of why they're doing it. They got overgross permits on them. They're heavy as piss. Yeah, I mean, what do you know, is it a little, like, Illinois 3-axle construction trailer, you know? Like, hello, yeah. Dimensions, they need dimensions. So, like I said, it's a pain in the neck, but he pays good. So we'll deal with it accordingly. designed and planned and built this setup exactly for doing this job for him and my mother. Sadly, he just couldn't get to finish it himself. That's all right though, that's why we're here. I'm actually a big fan of pre-drilling your holes so you don't split the wood when you send the screw through. Yeah, Jen and I have that 91 Cadillac, or is it a 90? Oh, I don't even remember. The thing about getting the engine redone on it. Cadillac, just get some vehicle running, get something to drive other than the dually maybe. You can drive to work in the winter without getting the Mercedes all yucked up with the road salt. We're thinking about getting that car done before we do the boat. But who knows, that plan might change too. Plans don't last long around here. One of our other company trucks heading south. See, that trailer preloaded when I left. Wow, Tuesday at 10 o'clock, he's just now getting down here? I was thinking, I delivered to a place out here. Oh, it was before I had the channel. Maybe before I had any channel going. I think about it. I don't think I delivered it with Orwell. I think I delivered with my blue Freightliner. And it was an old brick building with some really old overhead cranes. I had a metal cutting saw for them. And I made a comment to them. I go, yeah, it's a really, really, really old building. And they're like, yeah, this thing goes back to like World War I-ish times. And they said, yeah, back in the day, they used to make the cannons for the battleships right there. I'm like, get the F out, really? I had no idea. And I looked on a couple YouTube videos, and I'll be damned. They're mostly doing like 5-inch guns, but they made the 16 by 45s, the 16-inch by 45. The by 45 was like 16-inch wide shell. 45 times 16 is the length of the barrel. That's how they called them in those days for the naval guns. But they did a lot of 5-inch guns, they did 16-inch by 45s, and all the Iowa class battleship guns, and the Montana battleship class guns. Those are 16 by 50s as well. And those were, there's still pictures of them all being hammer welded. I always thought they were multiple pieces, but no, they were all hammer welded together to basically be one big piece. And they were made right there, not that far from where we are here. And I assume back in the late 30s, early 40s, to get them down to where the ships were, they just barged them down the Hudson, which made sense. Trucking wasn't what it was today. I mean, how do you move a battleship barrel? I mean, it was a thing where, like, I'll look it up. That number on the bottom of your screen is how heavy they were each. But just going off my memory now, I think they were like 200,000 pounds. And I don't know how you trucked a single piece that weighed 200,000 pounds in 1939. You know, a lot of trucks are still gasoline powered, for God's sakes. So it made sense. You made that stuff on the water and barged them, because I know the 4 Iowas were built in Philadelphia and in Brooklyn, right by the water, obviously, so easy getting it by the Hudson. But they were all reconditioned. A lot of people don't realize a battleship cannon only lasts so long. You can only shoot so many rounds out of it before their accuracy dwindles, so they got to be reconditioned. There were a lot of places that did that after the war, and even, I guess, during the war too, obviously. Well, like an Iowa class, it had nine 16-inch gun barrels on it, right? And God knows how many they had for spares. But they were reconditioning them. Place in Idaho, there was a place to recondition them too. I learned about that, the reconditioning in Idaho. They're talking about that test reactor that there was smoke coming from. It was steam, because that's what reactors do. But that reactor don't run all the time. That's why everybody freaked out. Oh my God, relax. But anyway, that was a whole thing. And I delivered to a test reactor. I might not have been that exact one, but I delivered a crane to them. Not a crane, the tool they used to replace the crane. That was a P&H mining deal. Back my trailer right to the reactor top just looks like a big stainless steel kind of dome. DOT and a tandem lot over there. 2 of them. Well, state trooper cars anyway, Chargers. The reactor's a stainless steel dome on the top of it. They take that dome off, it's full of water. They can change or work with the fuel rods, I guess, how it works. And the crane had to lift them in and out. And that crane was old, so they were replacing it. And the thing I brought them was equipment to lift it off the tracks, twist it, bring it down. I just had the top part of it, so it was really light. It was wide. It was like 10 foot wide. It was wide. It didn't weigh nothing. And the only thing it had on the trailer, so it was a nice, easy load. Best thing I like about this job, doing exactly what I do, working for Whitmeyer's, pulling the loads that we do. Man, you do some interesting loads sometimes. I mean, yeah, sometimes it gets mundane, you know. I remember when I first started putting strikers on the channel, those big Oshkosh fire trucks. The channel loved it. Now I guess they're kind of like, yawn, another striker. I mean, they're still cool, but you know what I mean? For YouTube, it kind of, the older subscribers, the guys that's been around a while, they've seen it before, but you get some interesting oddball stuff. And you sections of the country that are just really interesting. One of the ones I was just thinking of the other day was I had these two crane jacks. They're just big stands, red stands, and we had to take it to a place down in Louisiana, right on the river, where they were putting a crane together to start changing the floodway or spillway locks and doors for gigantic cranes. What it was for. It wasn't so much a cool load as it was a cool place to deliver. Riding around next to that river down the bayou like that, that was really cool. Maybe if you lived in that area, it was kind of like, you know, humdrum, big deal, who cares? But man, to me, it was just something else. Because you just don't. That's the thing with truck driving, you know, you see some really cool stuff, but if you get off the interstate a bit, you get to see it. Like even going down across the interstate's really cool, but if you can get off the interstate and see what's beyond the tree line from the interstate and get into the backwoods of some of these real interesting places, it's amazing what you see. I think it's also why I like watching a lot of railroad videos, because the places they put some of these railroads are just amazing. Me and Jen often talked about taking a trip via Amtrak just to view it from the cars, you know, the rail car perspective. We should do that one of these days. There's no Amtrak down where my mom lives. Mom and Dad live out there in West Texas, this western part of Texas. And there's no Amtrak stations anywhere near there. So we'd have to like Amtrak it to Dallas and then take a bus from Dallas. And I ain't into the bus. I did that last time I rode a Greyhound. I was 21 years old. I was going to start my first truck driving job. And I will never ride a Greyhound again. I'll hitchhike first. Greyhounds are terrible modes of transportation. Absolutely terrible. Problem with Greyhounds is it's worse than airplanes. Greyhounds are probably dealing with, it's the people. Overwhelming, I'd say, I'm thinking about the trip I took. There's two people in particular on a whole bus. Two ruined the entire trip. How many people are on a bus? It takes two people. And a bus driver with no moxie to throw him off the damn bus. So after that, I'd rather crawl than take a Greyhound.
Looking good there, Orwell, going west.
I appreciate it, driver. Ain't seen nothing but bug yet. We're getting off to go 87 north there. You got DOT and a tandem lot there. Yeah, get this damn radio fixed. Anybody got a CB shop wanna hook up that radio? Let me know. I'd rather bring the whole truck to you though. Get antennas done. Really need to put, I want to put duals on this thing, honestly. Well, if there's a CB shop wants to work with a guy, picks up a radio and get antennas set up on a truck, let's go. Are there even CB shops around anymore? Where's the big radios at, walking tall? I miss the days of the old CB. guys, man, it wasn't as corny as what you think when you see like Smokey and the Bandit. By the time I started driving in the mid-90s, it was a whole different thing. Some things meant one thing and other things, it evolved in time, you know, like if you went to a guy, if I just got on the radio, oh, 10-4, good buddy, I just insulted the heck out of him. I just called him something he didn't want to be called. But back in the day, it was different. Gotta be careful what I say around here. What the old saying is, ask a British guy in an American bar for a cigarette in his native tongue and see what happens to you. You're not getting a damn cigarette. I don't know what it is in New York. I guess from perspective, and you guys leave comments, which states are the worst. But I believe, in my personal opinion, when it comes to DOT cops, now New York is a funny state. I can't think of a single, not one, legitimately, and that's the problem. I can't think of one, not one single way station in New York State. Anywhere in New York, not a single actual way station where the place is designed and built with a scale, a weigh in motion, or a static scale, where it's for the DOT to do inspections, check your weight, like out west, they got all the port of entries. California's another one's notorious. I think New York is worse. California's got 18 bazillion scales, but you don't see California often rolling around and messing with you in rest areas where you're supposed to be resting, relaxing, not worried about crap. New York, they don't have a single one to do motor carrier enforcement. And I know everybody thinks, oh, I've got a beef with the police, and I've got to, you know, if you don't have motor carrier enforcement, it's the Wild West out here. Now you got some guys that take it way over the top, but you know what I'm saying. You definitely need some kind of enforcement, or it just gets to be insane. But New York has no way stations at all. So they play this cat and mouse game with rest areas, parking areas, and it's like there's nowhere in New York that you're like safe where you could think of where you could park your truck and the cops won't harass you if they just find you and they roll up on you. Hey driver, let me see your logbook, or hey, we're in inspection. Meanwhile, you're sitting there chilling, taking a 30-minute break. You know, I did have North Carolina do that once years ago, but kind of different story there. But New York, it has no way stations, so they play their games. On the thruway here, look on Trucker Path. Every interchange, just about, every interchange on the thruway has a dot because they mess with you getting on and off the thruway when they had you stopped at the toll booths. Well, now all the toll booths are gone, but the areas in a lot of places still remain. What they do is they play in the tandem areas, because in New York Thruway you can run not the little short trailers, you got them really big long trailers like 45, 48 footers. You can run them 2 at a time, but you can't run them off the thruway.
What's going on, Steve? Not a lot, just working for a living. I see, I can't believe it. Why don't you go by here? You look good back that way. You got a bunch of lane closures and all that stuff.
Already copy. Getting off 87 there, go north. You got DOT in the tandem lot there, other than that AC spin.
Yeah, I appreciate it, mister. I still got to play catch up with you, but keep them rolling, mister. Be safe.
Absolutely. Later. Ah, it's 2 for the price of 1 in this video. Go for 3. Anyway, like I said, So DOT will hang out in that little lot right there, and they'll drag you in there, because that's where the tandem drivers have to leave a trailer and press on with a single. But New York doesn't have weigh stations, and that's, I think, causes the problem. But of all the states with DOT, and they all got them, which states you figure are more ruthless? I mean, look at Michigan the other day. That was an interesting setup. I don't know if that was a weird setup right there when I got pulled in there. They were in a rest area. Now, Michigan has weigh stations. They got plenty of them. It was towards the end of the day. Not really. Like 1, 2. It was getting on lunchtime. Either he recognized Orwell and didn't want to be bothered with being on camera, or he just figured it's an older truck. Obviously, this guy works on it. Send it. Maybe it was to the end of the day. He didn't want to do a full-blown inspection, crawl underneath the truck. Maybe it was the trailer. He didn't want to go underneath the trailer because it's a royal pain, and trust me, it's hard for me to get under there. That's why I put it up on ramps when I'm under it. You never know why. He just wanted to do a quick light check and send me down the way. He didn't want to look at registration, insurance, none of that. Make sure my lights work and send it. Didn't even want to write out an inspection report. Nothing. So it makes you wonder. Like, Michigan does the same thing, which I don't think they should be allowed to work in rest areas, period, because drivers ought to be able to think that they can rest and not be harassed. And that's what my humble opinion. There should be a law that you work in weigh station only, don't work in rest areas. You know, if it's a pull-off area specifically for that, that's one thing. But a rest area where drivers are made to take his breaks, you should not be allowed to be enforcing on there unless it's a criminal thing. My personal opinion. I'll take that to Congress. Good luck. But that's the only way New York operates. Here's an interesting question. Many years ago, when I first started driving, I was driving local back then. I was still married. Matt wasn't even born. Sean was a baby. I was running a bulk tanker out of that Allentown, Easton, Pennsylvania area, right? Stockard Town is where our yard was. Right where Hercules Cement Plant was. We were right next to it. I don't even know if Price is still around, but he used to drive for Price back then. But anyway, the toll bridge coming into New Jersey on 78. DOT used to set up over there on the east side coming into New Jersey. And they would DOT you right there on the side of the road. And this one driver got shut down. And he wasn't allowed to leave, and he was on the shoulder of the highway. He was waiting for a repair truck to come out there to him. Just like this truck right here, you see on the shoulder of the road? DOT left him right like that, right on the shoulder of the road, right on the highway. I don't know about you, but that's probably not very safe. Well, he couldn't legally leave. Funny thing is, if he parked there and took a 10-hour nap, he'd get a ticket. But DOT wouldn't let him leave. Interesting, right? Well, there's no pay phones, there's no restrooms. The guy had to take a piss. So he went between the truck and the trailer. And another truck rear-ended him. And he was between the tandems and the cab, in that space, you know, between your wheels and your cab. And it got rear-ended by a truck at full speed. Yeah, he died. I never saw DOT do that again. Not there. Now if they're working, what was that car, that Jeep in the back there? Behind that six-wheeler. See, now I got DOT on my mind, so everything with a ski rack looks like DOT to me. yeah. I never saw them do that no more, but they would set up on the toll booth side. Well, right before that, there's a ramp. And guys will park on the side of the road there and go to sleep. Because, you know, so much truck parking around everywhere, right? That's called sarcasm. I've never seen them do it on the shoulder of Interstate 78 right there no more. Not after that one driver got killed. I wonder how much they had to pay his family on that one. I'll see if I can find an article or news clipping from it from back then. Oh, let me think when that would be. Well, September 11th was 01. I stopped driving for Landstar in 02. Started running local for a little bit. No, that was before 9/11. I bought my first truck in 2000. Went the other way. Right. Local jobs before I went owner-operator. 98 or 99. Might have been 2000. Early in the year. Like springtime in 2000, I bought my first truck. Well, here we go, get off at Amsterdam. Little inside baseball on my end. The Hero 9s, they last well longer than an hour. The Hero 8s, the GoPros I got, the Hero 8s, they don't last quite as long. Now we've been running for, I don't know, an hour-ish. I don't know, 45 minutes, hour, somewhere in that range. So I know I got 2 cameras running. 2 cameras are iffy at best. See, your toll booth is right, or used to be right here where your gantry is. It takes your pictures, right? We're making a left here. Come on, car, get out of the way. Then you got your tandem lot on the left side. My car's going all the way left too. All right, come on, car. Yeah, so you see that tandem lot is where them DOTs will hang out if they're going to be there. That's where they'll be. Meet there now. Oh man, I feel bad now. That car was nice and let me over. They got burnt. He got stuck on the red light. Oh no! Sorry, man. I didn't mean for that. Then I go and miss a gear like a rookie. There it is. Went to the cell phone. So it's front end's pretty messed up. Gears are dug into the ground a bit, so it's gonna be hard to get an accurate measurement. Oh yeah, look at that, ain't nothing left of that. Yeah, well it hooked into that notch, so it ought to be. Oh, and it is about like 2 feet of water in it. You said I'm number 7 to come look at it, so, which is almost frightening. I'm like, why is it me, the only one with the big enough stones to haul this?
I'm already 26,000. This ain't good.
There you go, perfect New York waterfall. That's tight. There's the handle.
Is your trailer split?
No. No, it's gonna be over length.
So it'll be 1620.
Say what? Hang on, you want me to haggle with the record driver?
That ain't happening. What'd he say?
He said, I'll just get her done. I'll handle it.
What do you mean I'll handle it? He's
I guess he'll just pay you.
what did you
He-
say?
well,
Angle.
that's what he's, see if we can get it down to like, dude, I'm not over, I don't even like you. You know what I mean? I'm like, dude, I don't even like
Sure
you.
if I even want to go any farther with this, I don't know. Maybe you gotta call another record company or something.